Who's your emergency contact? Who should we notify in the case of death? Welcome to the USP, where I spent the last 2+ decades of my life. Before I start, I just want to wish everybody a happy Father's Day today. To all the men out here that's been taking care of their kids, that's been supporting their family. And to the men in there that's locked up, that can't be out here with their family, but are doing what they can while they're in there to still take care of their family and raise their kids. Happy Father's Day to you guys. Hope you guys have a good one. Continuing on my episode, I'm currently in the SHU right now. I got to USP Florence, and just like I mentioned before, I got jumped on in the kitchen by a couple dudes. A Tongan dude from Frisco and a Laos dude that just came on the yard from Kansas City. Now somebody asked me, why that Laos dude jump on you? Probably because we're Asian or whatever, so he's wondering why he took their sides over me. Well, I never had a chance to have a conversation with that Laos dude. He came there, he was only there for like a couple days. I gave him a care package. I had the homie Nasty from the Bay. I think he might be from Frisco or Oakland, I'm not sure. But the Laos dude was in his block because he was Asian and Nasty knew me. Nasty's a light-skinned black dude from the Bay. He hooked him up with a care package. But he was over there in the block. He was in EA or EB, while Raja and Tonga, the Sellies, were in EA. So they wrecked together. Like I told you, the yard was split. We only wrecked with our block. So they probably had a chance to whisper in his ears. He just came on the yard, so he didn't know who was good or who was bad or whatever. And I don't have any animosity against him or anything like that, other than he punched me in my eye, But so, after the incident, they take you to medical. When they're taking you to medical, they're checking your vital signs, whatever injuries or whatever. I didn't have any other injuries on me other than the, my knuckle was bleeding, and I had something was obstructing my vision, so I knew my eye was swelling up, but without my glasses, I can't really see that good, and they're not letting you look in the mirror or anything while you're in medical. So after medical, they take me to the SHU to put me in the holding tank. So while I'm in the holding tank, I'm there for an hour or two. It's a long ass. Once you get in an incident, by the time you go to the SHU and get into a cell in the SHU, it's 5-6 hours. So it's just a long ass process. So they got me in the holding tank, sweating me out or whatever. 2SIS comes over there and they're asking me like, hey, what's going on with you? Like, what do you mean? Well, why'd your homies jump on you? I said, I don't know. Well, what's up? Your paperwork ain't checked out or anything like that? I said, listen, I don't know. So go ahead and put me in a cell. All right? So they leave, whatever, they finally put me in the cell. But before they put me in the cell, they put me out in the rec cage because I got to change out, get out of my whatever I was wearing when I was in the kitchen. I think I had some sweats on, and get into the jumpsuit or the paper clothes that they give you while you're in the SHU. While I'm in there, they put the Tongan dude next to me, in the cage next to me. I'm not one of those people that's going to talk shit through the cage, try to spit on him or anything like that. I just pace the cage, just running the process through my mind because, one, when a hit happens on the yard, it's usually sanctioned. And it's usually sanctioned by everybody that is in position to have a voice. So for them to jump on me like that, for them to plot on me like that, for them to get the Laos dude involved, in my mind, the whole yard had conspired against me. When I say the whole yard, I mean all the homies, all the 8 other homies that was on the compound at the time. So I'm just running the scenario through my head, and the Tonga dude's in the cage next to me. And I was like, and he's like, man, I wouldn't have jumped on you if it wasn't sanctioned. I said, yeah, whatever, but you know what it is. When I catch up to you, you already know what it is, you know. So that was the extent of the exchange or whatever, because like I said, I've never been one to just woof, especially I know me and him is probably never going to run into each other again, because whoever gets into an altercation, they get that separate tease put on them, because now the administration knows, all right, these two have beef, so don't put them on the same yard together. Sometimes here and there they slip up though, you know. But anyway, so they take me to the SHU. I get put in my SHU. I'm in the cell by myself. Well, a couple days later, not a couple days, but the next day, the deuces go off out in the SHU. I mean, out in the yard, deuces go off. So there, you know, when the deuces go off, the way we're able to be aware of it while we're in the SHU is because the COs in the SHU have to run out there to respond to the incident too. So while they're running, you can hear their footsteps running and their keys jingling. So every time their footstep is running down the hallway or the key is jingling, you already know something's going on, popping off on the yard. So, but, you know, over there, like, every day something's popping off, you know? So I have no idea why they're running out to the yard and doing whatever they're doing. So the dudes go off the next morning at breakfast. Bam. Well, the next day when I go out to the yard, so it's the second day, when I go out to the yard, the orderly comes through and goes, hey man, you Mesa? I said, yeah, what's up? He goes, hey, your homie Ko sends his love. I said, where's he at? Oh, he's locked up. He was involved in that incident. I said, hey, what happened? So, oh yeah, he punished this big ass dude. Dude came back looking like an elephant, right? So that's all the information that I got from the orderly, was that my homeboy Ko, he's a men from California, had punished, he said, a big dude. You know, so the thing that went through my mind was the homie out here from Utah. You know, he's Tongan, he's out here from Utah. He was already on the yard. So, but I'm like, damn, we're homies. He was in Atwater with me. So, you know, when you're in that situation where you just got jumped on or whatever, especially when you haven't done anything according to our rules and laws, foul. And also you understand that the rules that before you get jumped on, it has to be sanctioned by everybody that has, you know, that has any saying in what's going on in the politics amongst your car. So I didn't want to believe the dude sitting next to me in the cage, but at the same time, you know, my reality at that moment says that that's what it is. And then when K punished the big dude, you know, all I heard was big dude. So what came to my mind was the Tongan dude, you know, so, but I'm nobody. But I have friends that care about me. And my people out here, out in the world, out in the streets, they care about me. They respect me. I have, through the course of my bid, through the course of my career, I haven't done anything for them not to care about me or respect me. So when I heard that, I wrote a kite, sent it out to the streets. But you know, I didn't send it out to the regular mail. I have my own avenue of sending, like, you know, kites that has hot, you know, we call it a hot kite because there's things in there that can probably catch you a case. So I sent it through a different avenue that I use, that I reserve for this type of situation. So I sent the kite out. The kite reached the intended people that I needed to reach out here, and whatever. So when I call home, my wife tell me, you know, whatever. My people let her know that she received the information and they got me. And I was like, all right. So at this time, I've been on restriction coming from Atwater. I've been on phone restriction, been a commissary restriction. But I get my phone back on May 10th. I went to the SHU on May 1st. So on May 10th, I get my phone back. So before May 10th came around, I get a kite from the homie Kale. And in the kite, he explained everything on what happened. And the big dude that he punished wasn't the Tongan homie out here from Utah. It was Raja, the dude from India. He's Indian from India. You know, I guess that morning when or that day when they heard about it, he went out there. It already happened, but they had locked the prison down because I wasn't the only one that got jumped that day. There was like 2 other incidents that day with the white boys and whoever else. So it was like 3 hits that day. You know, so the next morning when they went into the kitchen, you know, Kay finally got a chance to talk to Raja, and he's like, "Hey man, what happened?" He's like, "Oh man," I said, "Who sanctioned that hit?" And Raja's like, "I did." And Kay was like, "Man, who the fuck is you to be able to fucking sanction a hit like that?" I said, "Shit, why can't I?" And I guess when he said that, you know, they're sitting at the table across from each other in the kitchen. You see, Kay just launched up and slept him. 1 hit, slept him. Then when he was on the ground, he just kept, you know, drilling on his face, and then got up and just started stomping on his head. So when he came back in, the orderly was telling me, "Yeah, the dude looks like the Elephant Man. I guess he's all fucked off or whatever." You know, so like I said, so when I found out who it was, the very next day I got my phone back. It was May 10th. So as soon as I got my phone back, you know, I gotta wait for the rotation to go. And I was able, luckily, the phone hit my cell on the day that I got my phone back. Or if not, if it passed me, then I would have to wait until it goes through its rotation again and back to us. So, and there's 20 cells down each side of the hallway. So you got 40 cells that you gotta go through. So anyway, I get my phone back on May 10th. Now that I have the new information, my kite is irrelevant and I made a mistake. So when I call home, I called my wife. I said, "Hey babe, tell the homie to disregard that letter. I made a mistake." My wife is like, "Oh, thank you, thank you." I said, "What? What's going on?" She goes, "Oh, thank you." He goes, "Yeah, I sent the kite." She goes, "Your homeboys called me and they told me that they got me." See, like I said, I'm nobody, but I'm out here from Utah and I got a lot of homies out there in the state joint. And the homie in question, the Tonga dude that I thought had plotted on me, is out here from Utah, and he's got people in the state joint. And we're all from different neighborhoods and all whatever. But like, you know, being a part of a gang, being a part of an organization, you know, part of the agreement is to have each other's back, to always ride with each other. That's regardless if they're there with you physically here or, like in my case, in another state. But if somebody came from the state that had gotten into it with my homie, had stabbed my homie up or jumped on my homie or hurt my homie in any type of way, and if he picked up a Fed case and end up on the Fed in the yard with me, it's my responsibility, it's my duty to make sure I get some get back for the homie. So that's the mentality. So me getting jumped on in the feds, it doesn't stay in the federal prison, especially if it's going to be, you know, another known organization, another known gang that we have access to. Because I mean, if we're never around them or whatever, and we're never going to see them, that's a different story. But if we're in the same facility, the same street, same state as anybody that I got into it with in the feds, it would carry out here. It was about to carry out here between that homie and their people and my people out here in the street and in the state. So when I made the call on May 10th and told him that I made the mistake because I had assumed things that were wrong, my wife was relieved and she relayed the message to my people and everybody like kind of like tapered down out here in the streets and in the state joint, you know. So, but like I said, you know, these men, and I'm nobody. I'm just a kid from Utah. So times that by quantify that by how much you want when it pertains to different people that are involved in organization. When I say organization is because they're structured, they have line of communication, they have resources and whatnot. So when things happen with them, it doesn't stay in the penitentiary. It doesn't stay in one penitentiary or two penitentiary. It spreads out to wherever their people are. You know, you have people that's locked up behind these gates, behind these walls for decades, but their authority still reaches out here into the world. Yeah. Welcome to the USP.